at sunrise, chanting, dancing to his name. Haribo, Haribo. He would wake up everyone, rise and rejoice to the name. Haribo, Haribo. Mukunda Madhava, Govinda Hari, Haribo, Haribo. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste and give away the sweetness of his brain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all you have to do is take to the sweet chanting Hari's name. Haribo, Haribo. Every day the sun will rise, and every day the sun will set. Haribo, Haribo. What's the value of your life if devotion you don't get? Haribo, Haribo. Take the name into your heart, take it with you when you part. Haribo, Haribo. Chaitanya Maha.
Good morning, good morning. Grand rising, grand rising.
OGEbeats.com.
Jesus, Jesus, Prabhupada. 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 Morning. Jesus, Jesus, Prabhupada. 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 What a team those two are. Jesus, Jesus, Prabhupada. Jesus, Jesus, Prabhupada. Shri Advaita Nityananda Gauranga. Shri Advaita Nityananda Gauranga. Shri Advaita Nityananda Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Krishna Chaitanya, Shri 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 Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna
Purchase your tracks today.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Purchase your
Hare,
tracks today.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, oh my Lord, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, oh my Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, oh my Lord, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Oh my Lord, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Oh my Lord, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Oh, Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Mics on and let's chant some joy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
It's
Hare,
more
Hare Rama,
intoxicating every day.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
I
Rama
like
Rama.
this drug.
Yeah.
Very natural, organic. Krishna, Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama.
Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama, Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama
Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare Krishna,
Rama
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama
Rama
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama
Rama
Hare Hare,
Rama, Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama.
Rama,
Oh my
Rama
Lord
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare
My
Hare,
Lord Sri Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya,
Rama,
Sri
Hare
Krishna Chaitanya,
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Chaitanya.
Hare Krishna,
Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
Krishna
Sri
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya,
Hare,
Sri Krishna
Hare Rama, Hare
Chaitanya,
Rama,
Sri Krishna
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Chaitanya.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Sri Krishna
Sri Krishna
Chaitanya,
Chaitanya, Sri Krishna,
Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
Sri
Sri
Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya,
Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya,
Sri Krishna
Hare
Chaitanya,
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama, Rama, Hari Hari. Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Rama
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama Hare
Rama
Hare Krishna
Rama, Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Krishna Hare
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 Oh my Lord Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Oh my Lord Krishna. Oh my Lord Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama, Hare Rama.
Rama Rama Hare
Oh my Lord Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, oh my Lord Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Rama Rama Hare
Oh
Krishna
my
Hare
Lord
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna
Oh my God, Krishna. Krishna, Hare Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna
Rama,
Hare Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama Hare Rama
Rama,
Rama
Rama,
Rama Hare
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama, Rama.
Rama Rama Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram,
Rama Rama
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama Hare Rama
Hare
Rama Rama Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Rama
Ram,
Hare Rama
Ram, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama Hare
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. I can't take it anymore, man. It's too much. I never thought I would ever see a day there would be too much ecstasy, too much happiness. I gotta stop and talk about it a little bit. I gotta get orientated here. This is fantastic. Every day it's like I come here to ever like to go to school? It's like I come to go to school. I come here. This is like a school day, to come to learn something. The teacher is the holy name. I come here, for instruction. Learn the ways of love. See, Radha and Krishna, direct instructors. We have the best instructors in the world. Radha and Krishna. Oh my God. No wonder Lalita is so wise, greedy, lusty. She's a vampire. She is fucking. He's a good student of the holy name. See, that's when you know a good student. When they go to class, they laugh and they smile. They like their studies. They're very much enjoying their study. They're really cracking the books good. Really. You can tell the teacher's very pleased with them. Okay. Oh my God, this is so great, man. We got to bottle this and sell this to the world. So we were reading from Madhya chapter 20. Mahaprabhu chastises Devananda Pandit. We'll continue on here. Are you guys also enjoying chanting the holy name? Let us take a poll. How many people out there love chanting? Are you feeling some ecstasy? Give us a report. You guys are talking about all kinds of other things. Let's talk about this. So I'll read this again. It's so good. This is Devananda Pandit, chapter 21 in Madhya Kanda. First page. By some unknown coincidence, the Lord and his devotees were passing by Devananda's house while Devananda was lecturing upon Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Vishwambara, the Supersoul in everyone's heart, and the absolute omniscient Supersoul in everyone's heart, and the absolute omniscient Supreme Lord, overheard his explanations, which were devoid of reference to the process of devotional service. And it's so funny because he's talking about devotional service. This is what people need to know. He was talking about, he was speaking about Krishna. What else is in it? What else can you talk about? Talking about devotional service, there's only two levels, and the Lord came here to give that second level. See, he came here to give, let's turn this on. He came here to give the second level of devotional service in ecstasy, pure devotional service, to give the gift. Like Lalita says, it's not something to attain. That's why the devotees are on, they're on that path. So the Lord came to them, see, that are on that path. And that's why I don't give up on the vice. I come to them also who are on that path. It's the same process. See, they're the Devananda Pandit. They fit in that hole. See, Devananda Pandit peg, hole, that position. See, they're lecturing on Srimad Bhagavatam, teaching the process of devotional service. But the Lord says it's devoid of the process, the real process. It's time to do reality show, right? This is the reality show. The real process of devotional service is very simple. Come into the society of devotees like Lord Caitanya and his devotees did. They were together. Okay? And they chanted the holy name in that vibration, in that energy, in that potency. And so easily they got the gift from Lord Caitanya. Who had it? He was chanting the Lord's name in holy in that ecstatic love. And that's the path. See? It's devoid of if you're not speaking that, you're not preaching yet the real process of devotional service. It's not through austerities that they're preaching now, that all of them are preaching. It's not by renunciation that they're preaching now. Every one of them. It's not by sadhana bhakti even, which they're preaching now. It's not by pious deeds that they're preaching now. But Prabhupada said, that's your beginning. This is Shiksha. This is the next stage. This is the postgraduate studies of Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Leela that Prabhupada foretold. This is the real process. This is what he's talking about. It's devoid. Your explanations are all devoid of the real process of devotional service, like Lord Caitanya said. And hear this process. Now, the association of his devotees and chanting the holy name in that association, hearing the vibrations, being in that vibration. And you get the gift because the Lord is pleased. Oh, you came to my devotee. That is That is all I came here to teach and to share. Come into the association of my real devotees and learn the real process like I taught. Am I not teaching what he taught? Am I not showing what he showed? Am I not communicating what he communicated to others? Who else is doing that? Did Narayan Raj do that? He taught the process of renunciation, austerities, and all that, and coded it with Raghunuga Bhakti. See, but it's not as it is. Now it's as it is. Okay, that's fine. He did that. They're all doing that now. But it's time for the real process of devotional service. Time to grow up. So you leave the mean part to me. The birds and the bees. Reality check. Yeah, so that's it. It's time for the real process. See, what is the real process? The Lord says, "Oh, look, his explanations are devoid of the process of pure devotional service." Okay? Pure devotional, glorifying the absolute truth, glorifying the path to it. The path is so simple. Come into the association of ecstatic devotees, man. Isn't that why it worked with Jesus? They came into the association of a person who had the Holy Spirit, and they stayed with him for 3 years and got purified by the word he spoke to them. That's the process, man. Be with an ecstatic devotee. But we were with Prabhupada, yeah, but he didn't, he hid that ecstasy in his room. He didn't glorify that level yet. He got you to go, to begin, the beginners. And then the Ram Raj kind of expounded a little bit about it intellectually, but didn't communicate it, right? Isn't this the full-bodied process now? Not only do you hear it glorified like you heard it 550 years glorified, but you see it communicated, you see it experienced in devotees, you see what it is, you see what the real path is, you hear what the real path is. How can you not get this gift if you're in this association, in this vibration? That's it. See? That's all the brambles or all those other things put on this path that I just communicated here, that I communicate every day here to others. We just take all the bread, just keep throwing them on. I don't care. I like doing this. I just like picking up dirt. You never see these little old Indian ladies, they sweep every day. They like it. I also a sweeper of Vrindavan. If anything's on the path of Vrindavan, yeah, I want to be there sweeping it up. You didn't know I was a house cleaner. Another hat. Maid. See, maid, servant. Yeah, sir, you gotta sweep that path, right? Important. Otherwise it gets dusty. Who's going to sweep the dust off the path of pure devotional service? Who's going to sweep the dust off the real process of devotional service? Somebody's got to do it. See? Harvest is plentiful and the workers are few. We got a few more here now already. Isn't that amazing? Now we got team. We're assembling a team. Amy says, I feel an increase in my connection every day. It gets better and more clear. Crying out for the Lord with true love is the most powerful thing. And that's it. See? If you're in the real process devotional service, it becomes newer and newer and newer. That's its style. That's its nature. But if you're not, you're just doing the same old, you're just in some external thing, and it gets a little boring. That's why you see a lot of this as well. They just do the ritual. They're like this. This is beyond. This is this is beyond that. You transcend the ritual. Ritualistic. They call Remember when Lord Caitanya met Ramananda Roy in the statement there, it says the ritualistic Brahmins saw them embracing, and they're both shaking and crying and laughing and all this. See, by their meeting. See, this is the way it is. What are we doing? The same thing. Same thing, no different. Hare Krishna by mantra. So the Lord was physically present, and Ramananda Roy was a real devotee, and you prove that you're a real devotee when you chant the holy name in great ecstasy and you shake and choke and all that stuff. That means you're meeting the Lord like Ramananda Roy. You are an ecstatic. You are a spontaneous, engaged in the spontaneous devotional service of the Lord. And the ritualistic Brahmins were standing aside and said, "What is this?" See, they're looking according to the caste system. Why is this sannyasi embracing a Sudra? And why are they trembling? See, they don't know. These gurus are saying that. Well, why are they crying when they chant the holy name? Why is this? This is not authorized. This is not a Brahmin thing. This is not what Prabhupada taught. This is what Lord Caitanya showed and demonstrated, and we're reviving this. If you don't get this, you don't go into the kingdom of God. Not Vrindavan. You'll be with the demigods, and and if you're a big teacher here, maybe you can be a nice teacher. People, you'll get these neophyte in heaven. There's good people in heaven, and they'll go, "Oh, you're so great," and you'll think, "Oh, it's all false prestige." Yeah, Ramananda Roy, Lord Caitanya, who's the most important persons in the world? He says only a devotee of the world has importance. Something like it's paraphrased. Oh, they're the only important. They're the only ones educated. They're the only ones that give the right education. Pure devotional service, the only important thing in this world. It's the pearl of great price that Jesus is talking about. It's the kingdom of God, even here. You don't have to go anywhere. It comes to you, wouldn't you know? You call Krishna, he comes. I love this. I just love to hear. Thank God. Thank you, Lord, for giving me, the inspiration to preach about your heart, what you really love and what you really. Where? I mean, to me, I feel really privileged just to tell people like it is. To me, this is the greatest thing. Just to say what Lord Caitanya said, and to feel what Lord Caitanya felt, and to communicate that to others. It's prime importance. I don't care what the word. You can give me 1,000 of those gurus and all things. If you're all against this, oh, that's okay. Don't worry, man. I got Lord Caitanya behind me, inspiring me. I got all the devotees. I got Prabhupada inspiring me. Yeah, we'll win. The truth will set everybody free if you stand for it, stand up to it, and for it. Why not? Lies are so weak. That's why you see, even in the material world, the lies are. You know how they're proven weak? They got to censor people that have a little more good sense, a little more goodness. They got to censor it because it's so weak, and it only weakens those who the deeper truth is restricted. See, here in our sangha, it's not restrict. There's no restriction here. I tell you the truth, man. It just wipes away all illusion. Just wipes it just like a clean cloth. Just wipes it off. Yeah, truth will set you free on all levels. If you're in the mode of ignorance, because people that are tricky and liars and cheaters, they're actually serving the darkness. If you even hear truth in the mode of goodness, that'll set you free from that level. People are waking up already. That's part of the Lord's plan, is to get people to progress and not stay in their position. Get the demons to do these dastardly deeds, and they get the results of that and learn. Get the people that have been serving the demons to wake up and say, why am I serving bad people, hypocrites and liars? Let me at least serve the good, make some progress, right? Yeah, and those who are coming to Krishna, let me at least follow the rules and regulations and become a little human. and not just all over the place. Yeah, and there's faults in all of that, except what we're doing. Can you imagine a person so full of all kinds of external faults, but what's being preached here is faultless? Why? Because it's full of the glorification of the absolute truth as it is. So that's, the empowered version. Because why? It causes people to become faultless. Why? Because the faultless one lives inside you, right? He's awakened. He clears you of it, whatever fault, covers whatever faults you may have. He covers all of that simply because he's forgiven you. That's why we forgive others, because we've been forgiven. You notice? Forgive and you shall be forgiven. Okay? But when you know the Lord has forgiven you, it's very easy to forgive. He even gives you that. Because people can't forgive on their own. You think, no, you can't. You try to forgive when your heart is full of anger and hatred and all. Nobody can really do it. It's only feigned. Yeah. The real process is in the book. Chapter 23, it says, when love of God awakens in your heart, you know what awakens also simultaneously? Forgiveness. No love of God, you're just feigning everything. You're feigning your humility. It's all feigned, all this stuff. It ain't real humility. It ain't real forgiveness, people. Have until love of God awakens in your heart, till you get the gift. See, overheard the explanations which were devoid of the reference to the process of devotional service. See, it's not referencing. I'm looking at what am I referencing when I'm looking at a book? I'm looking, see, for the reference. What is this referring to? See, reference referring to. This book is referring to the process of pure devotional service. If I pick up this book, I pick up Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and this book, and I refer to the path of Vaidhi Bhakti, like Devananda Pandit. Am I really pleasing Lord Caitanya? No. If I'm here to please, Lord Caitanya is the personification of the supreme happiness of God. He came to show what that is, and he's very pleased with those who reference the path of pure devotional service. They pick up these books and they refer to the path of pure devotional. So I refer you. This is how you get it. You listen here. I refer you to the Lord's process of pure devotional service. See, and you enter in that door. Enter in through the word. That's how I went in the door with Jesus. I went through the word. If somebody's representing Jesus with the wrong word, am I entering the door? People, they went to Jonestown, and the guy said, I represent Jesus, come to Jonestown. Was he really representing Jesus? His word was wrong. His word was off. He was not in alignment with the real line. He was not ecstatic like Jesus was ecstatic. That's the real line. In Lord Caitanya, it's no different. This path is no different. This line is no different. Who's ecstatic like Lord Caitanya? You found the real line. Otherwise, you find speculations. You find some kind of cultivation of something material still. You got to find the real representatives of Jesus. They're ecstatic like Jesus. They have the same spirit Jesus had because they're in the real line. They got the blessing of Jesus Christ, or those who have the blessing of Jesus Christ. This same thing in Vaishnavism. That's why it works here. You're in the real line. Otherwise, you would not get the result of the real line. Being in the real line, the result, the finishing work, the finishing touch is the spirit of devotion, Bhakti Lata Bij, man. You know what Prabhupada said about that? In Chaitanya Charitamrita, he said the spiritual master, not everybody gets the Bhakti Lata Bij from the spiritual master. You'll even see that here. Not everybody gets it. Some people get the Gyan Bij. They want to be teachers and intellect, and they take that Bij and they go and they cultivate Gyan, speculations. You notice that? They go and they go away and they cultivate their speculations and teach their speculations. And then they criticize this path. They criticize these devotees. They call them fools. See? They don't get the real Bhakti Lata Bij because lack of faith, man. Faith in Shiksha Guru. The Guru is important. You don't just kick them away. If you do, you become bewildered. This is what Prabhupada, he's walking on a sand dune. And the devotees, he could see the Mayavadi mentality brewing in some of them. This is in Juhu Beach. And he takes his cane, and it seemed kind of odd. And he takes his cane, he knocks one of the devotees off with his cane in the sand dune. He said, don't do this to me. You never kick away your bhakti guru. Because he could see this was don't do this to me. You never kick away your bhakti. Because the other side of that is the reflection. See, the result of that is you're kicked away. The Lord, that's just what happens. You kick guru, you kick the devotees out of your life, or you kick them, you're kicked. That's the way the Lord reciprocates, right? You give praise. That's why, Lord Caitanya said the only way to atone for blasphemy of a Vaishnava or Vaishnavas is to fill your mouth with their glory. The only atonement. If you don't do that, then you're bewildered, because the Vaishnava is the truth in this world, isn't it? Aren't they? You kick them away, you're kicked away, just automatically. It's the way the world works. But if you receive them, what do you receive? You receive the path of ecstatic devotion. See, Lord Caitanya came to accept the path of ecstatic. He gave honor to it. Oh, my Gurudev, he would eat a grain of sand of his Guru every day. Could you imagine? He's the Lord. And he did this from his heart. This gave him great pleasure to do this. Oh, there you go. There you go, River. It gave him great pleasure. Yeah, so that's the prasi. That's the process. We refer to the prasi, Guru Tattva, all these things, Rasa Tattva. We refer everything to the real process of devotional service and give great pleasure to the Lord and great pleasure to our hearts, which is the same thing. See, when you found the Lord, you found him in your heart, you realize, oh, we live together. That's why devotees are never lonely anymore. They live with the Lord. Isn't it? Can you imagine? What a great cure for loneliness. Everybody's trying to get over loneliness and depression in some other way. Okay? So that's why a lot of expression has to come out, all the exorcisms and all that's the demon. Get them all out of there, man. So you could see what's there. The Lord, you can live with the Lord. How can you be depressed when the Lord is living so close? Ready to purify you, ready to enlighten you, the comforter, all that. That's why you got to go through the process. Get in the friggin' dentist chair. Let's get the stuff out that's in the way of that relationship. So, enraged by this, see, Can you imagine that the Lord just doesn't, people don't know the Lord is a person. They don't get it. People get angry in the world, right? They get angry about what? The truth. They get angry about people who speak the truth, right? Didn't they kill Jesus Christ for speaking the truth? They were enraged. So the Lord, that's because that's a reflection of the Lord. The Lord's enraged to hear the speculations in the world. He doesn't like it. He showed. That's the wrath. You want to know the wrath of God? Well, lie to people. Even people, even the mode of goodness, get very angry about people lying. Look at them. They're enraged. Aren't people? They hate these liars. They're lying, right? Lying to you about all these things. Putting poison in your food, in your air, and everything. Killing people. Yeah, the people in mode of goodness are enraged about that. The lies. And look at this. Lord Caitanya has this quality. He was enraged about a person in the mode of goodness. A nice Brahmin. What was his fault? He was teaching Vaidhi Bhakti, speaking about Krishna and referring to he's taking up the book Bhagavatam and not the Lord's enraged. What is this? You're not referring to what the book is really teaching. This enraged the Lord. Enraged. What is this? He's referencing something mundane when even my devotee Veda Vyas, he was unhappy and he wrote the Bhagavatam to give the confidential purport. And this Devananda Pandit is going backwards and teaching something that Veda Vyas gave up teaching. Ray, do you wonder why I get a little uppity here? Why are they not teaching what's really in Prabhupada's books? Why are they not teaching in the Srimad Bhagavatam? Why are they not teaching the importance of ecstatic devotees and the path of pure devotional service and the path of ecstatic love and crying and laughing and all these things that Lord Chaitanya? Why are they not referring to that anymore? Like father, like son a little bit, right? This is not half of what the rage he felt. That's why it was difficult to understand him back then. That's why he's so pleased here. Because I ain't going to go again. I don't want the rage of the Lord. Well, maybe it depends. Advaita wanted the Lord to rage. So he taught, he enraged the Lord. He knew how to do it. He says, I'm going to teach something that doesn't reference pure devotional service. I'll teach Mayavadi level. See, and people go hard. Why are you going against all these gurus and teachings and teachers and all this stuff? Because I'm here to do what Lord Caitanya did, to teach the real process of devotional service, to refer to that process, whether you guys like it or not. And if you like it, oh, you're fortunate. Oh, very fortunate. Now you're getting to know the nature of the Lord and you're liking it. Yeah, I like Advaita. The Lord was enraged. See, this is the game Advaita was playing. Only he, a person on that level, can play such a game. He knew this would enrage the Lord. He wanted it. He wanted to show that pure devotional service is the highest thing. And what's the best way to do it? Teach Mayavadi. Teach something else other than pure devotional service. Don't stand up for pure devotional service. You want to enrage the Lord. Yeah, I ain't going to do it. I don't want to do it. I want to stand up and show how beautiful, how much mercy you can get by preaching what the Lord preached, man. How much power you can get to preach it to others. How much ecstasy you can awaken in others and just blast to smithereens every other path in this world. Talk about wild thing. Isn't it a great chapter here, man? We read this yesterday, but it's always newer and newer and newer. Yeah, so he taught Mayavadi. He wanted to show, that these qualities. So the Lord was enraged and started to beat Advaita with his fists. He says, "You call me down here to preach pure devotional service, and then you go and do your old thing." Because he's like Lord Shiva, part Shiva, and Lord Shiva teaches Mayavadi. That's he's not a Mayavadi. He teaches it for less intelligent people, just like Prabhupada. He's not a Mayavadi. He's not a Vaidhi Bhakta. He taught it because that's their qualification at the time. It's still the qualification of most Vaishnavas, right? They're good. They get enraged with me speaking like Lord Caitanya spoke about, not referring to the path of pure devotional service. Too bad, man. Will enrage you more. Get more out, man. Because every lash I get from your mouth, you're healed a little bit more. That's what the Pharisees was standing and they were lashing Jesus angry. Hey, Jesus, with that guy. The Pharisees are out there, and then Nicodemus was watching this, and very intelligent. He says, "Wow, it's just like the scriptures. For every lash he gets, we are healed." See, because it was getting all the poison out of them. That's the secret, man. That's why only the devotees can drink that ocean of poison. It's a poison pit, man. We're in this. The Lord helps. And that's proof, man. Only a devotee could take that kind of beating. Verbally or physically or whatever it is. You have to be protected by the Lord. Otherwise you can't do it. They had to call on Shiva to drink the ocean of poison that was churned. Because there's poison there's coming out of that ocean. He drank it up and it left a little blue mark. That was it. That's why you need a powerful devotee you want full deliverance, man. You better find a really empowered devotee. Oh yeah, but they're pretty rare, my friend. Want to say something, Lena? Go for it.
I recognize that rage when I hear speculations about the Lord. I had it was with devotees, and then I knocked the door. I closed the door. Finished.
Yeah.
No more. Don't want to hear it anymore. Yeah, I recognize that rage. Not
Yeah,
wanting-
because the path is so beautiful is to relish what the Lord relishes, because he's like a connoisseur of the truth, and he came to show these glories. That's why it's so. I just feel so blessed. I just take these books, and the Lord has allowed me, because of all this ecstatic worship. I see that, and I just communicate that. See, communication, and when you communicate the truth, it sets people free. See, this is a secret. And you guys are becoming communicators like that too. And you can see it. You start to feel it. You start to feel like you're pleasing God in a way that nobody can do. Nobody can look like you. Nobody can speak like you. See, because you got the power of the truth behind you. See, you've learned the art of pleasing God, which is just to communicate what He communicated. That's parampara. This is what anybody says to me here, or says to you, if they say, "Oh, Gohari I have a different opinion." Gohari, just see that as an indication, because that's not I communicate the Lord's opinion and prove it. You after you hear these things and then you look at the book, you'll see what I'm saying. Otherwise, you may not see it until you get this potency that that this fool's got. This gives me the ability, this relationship, this genuine relationship with Lord Caitanya gives me the ability to understand the scriptures, to really be like a priest, to be in between the world and my Lord. And he wants to give that to others, but you have to come in the real line. That's why you guys are first fruits. You come in the real line. You get what not 1,000 of these gurus can get, because they won't come here. It's too purifying. Okay? They don't know how to handle it yet. They're still, give me the rules and see, yeah, give me everything. Don't reference pure devotional service and the path. We're not into that, because we're probably blinded by name and fame, and we're like that. We like being important and going around. These guys are, just to tell you the truth, they're very unimportant. In the eyes of the Lord, they have really little importance. They're only for the very neophyte people who can't tell the difference. Okay, you're doing some service. All paths lie upon Krishna like pearls on a string, but it's not really important. That's called false prestige. Real prestige is to come in the real line. Just by you being a real follower of the real path here, the real prestige comes. The real blessings of the Lord. People, you'll see nice people come. Sincere people come that really want to know the path. And that's the kind of association the Lord gives you here. Not just fools. They don't last long. Or people, materially motivated devotees who want something other than love of Krishna and the intoxication of it. See, you get the jewels. We get the jewels here. And the others, okay, see, that's great. Go to Jaipataka and Radhanath, and you get be the mass, part of the masses, until, you're ready. And those are ready. One by one, they come and they see, you come and you see that the nature of this Sangha is special and different than all those teachings out there, different than Narayan Maharaj teachings. Even though you may say they're the same, but you only got it intellectually out there. The only intellectual version. We got this version. Okay? And the realization of those verses that they can't realize until they get this gift. You got to get off the path of attainment, like Lalita was saying this morning. She said, I didn't attain this. I received this. See, received. There's a giver and a receiver. Where's the when you're on the path of attainment, that's that works thing. By my works, I'm going to chant my 1 lakh and do my fastings, and I'm going to attain Krishna. And they go and they go and they go. The best you're going to attain by that is the desire to attain Krishna. And when you get that desire and you're really sincere, because Lord, I'm trying, I want to really and to get really sincere. What are you going to get? You're going to get the real path. You're going to get the real spirit, the living devotee, the real devotee, the one in a physical body. You need to hear this stuff preached to those who hear. Didn't she read that this morning? Those who hear these books, not just read them. Hear them from a realized soul. Learn this process from a realized soul. That's what you get. See, that's why you see Bhagavad Gita verse. If you cannot worship me with this loving ecstasy that you see here every day, without fail. If you can't do that, worship like this, follow the rules and regulations and develop a desire to attain me. Did it say you attain the Lord? No. A desire. In other words, it's not quite working. You get it just, it's like you're stoking a fire. I'm doing all these fasts and all this stuff, and I'm going to these programs, and I'm speculating under this, but my heart still is like Veda Vyas, it's still not satisfied. When you come to that point, then the Lord will lead you to the real path. The path is the real devotee, the real line, preaching the confidential truth, that you didn't hear from Prabhupada. See? That you didn't really hear from Narayan Raj or the Radhakund Babajis. See? How do you know you hear it? Well, you see it. Whether they know it or not, that doesn't matter. You didn't see it. You didn't hear it communicated by seeing the devotee. That's why you see the Lord. When he saw an ecstatic devotee, he said, my God, how fortunate I am to see the truth manifest. I see the external manifestation of that Lord in my own heart. No, now Lord Krishna will never leave me. And the devotees, when they saw the Lord externally manifest, that super soul, that ecstatic super soul in their own heart, they saw it externally manifested in the ecstasy of Lord Caitanya, relishing mellows, like everybody sees here every day. My God, are we fortunate that Lord Krishna allowed us to see them? See, now that's receiving, right? That's the way you receive. And these others, what do they say? They don't even care. That's for where you see Jesus said, don't cast your pearls before swine and your food before dogs. That refers to people going, what are you doing? Yeah, you just, yeah, this is terrible. And they go on their dry way, their dry paths, the empty steps of Swami steps, choreographed. And they say, you see how externally we're just, you see how we're in sync. This is pure devotional service. It's just like, how much different is that than going to one of these dance things on stage, and they spend all their days, just choreographing. It looks so there, but it's so empty because there's nothing inside. It's just a lot of external practice. Where's the love? Where's the relishing mellows? Where's the substance? Nowhere to be seen. But the world, they're dazzled, right? It's called Maya, illusion. You're dazzled by the external workings and trappings, trappings of illusion. You pay attention to that. And not, if you paid attention to the truth here, that's your payment. You want to see the Lord has given, he's given this ability, this jewel of himself to his real devotees who have real sincere love for him, and that transcendental spontaneous love for him, and they can give it anywhere. See, they can put any price on that. See, payment, so the payment is where you're paying attention. This is the payment, people. Pay your attention to this message here. Pay your attention to this preaching. Pay your attention to the devotees chanting the holy name in ecstasy. That is your payment. Everybody can do that. You don't need money to do that. Not much. Buy a little computer or a little cell phone. They're cheap now. This is your payment to get pure devotional savers. Pay attention to this message. Pay attention to this ecstasy. Pay attention to this preaching. Pay attention to these beautiful devotees here. Pay attention to the witnesses. The cock crowed 3 times. Did you hear it? Now that's pretty simple, huh? Pay attention. Pay your attention over here. Some people, they pay a little attention, then they go elsewhere and pay their attention. Oh, I'm sorry, man, no time. I got to pay my attention exclusively to my family. All, everything. Pay my attention to building houses. Pay my attention. So you pay. That's where you're making your payment, and you're paying for trinkets. See? Huh. You pay your attention here in Sadhu Sangha with the real glories of Lord Caitanya being preached. Your payment back, man, your dividends, your capital is returned millions of times. Man, you bust the bonds of birth and death, man. You become a tree. Boy, the cock's really crowing, man. You must be really liking this. We're waking up the cocks. And you cocky people will wake you up too. So, what does this foolish man say? He is completely ignorant about the essential teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam. See, that's what I love. I just love to give the essential teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam, the essential teachings of this book, the essential teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Abandon all varieties of religion and their religious leaders and come and we'll teach you how to surrender to Krishna. Surrender to the confidential message of the Bhagavatam. We preach here like Shukadev Goswami did, like Prabhupada didn't, except in his books and waiting for us. I got his order and, to preach this confidential message. I love it. You'll love it too. And therefore you'll love Krishna. He'll love you and you'll be happy as a little 2 peas in a pod forever. Completely ignorant. See, you're completely ignorant if you preach anything else. How can you get rid of ignorance, man? All the world is full of ignorance. The demigods are full of ignorance. The demons are full of ignorance. Everything ignorance in this universe. See, the essential teachings of Bhagavatam are to destroy all ignorance and just point out the jewel, give you the pearl of great price, man. The pure devotional path, man. The essence of love of Krishna and how to easily attain it. This is the essence of the Bhagavatam. This is what we're preaching here. You pay attention here, you're going to get love of Krishna because we're teaching love of Krishna. We're showing you love of Krishna. How can you not get it if you're really serious? You come here long enough, I'll convince you this is the greatest path. Why? Because it really is. And then you go out and, like Tom does, looks out there a little bit and checks it out. He says, yeah, compared to what I'm seeing out there, this is fantastic. Devoid of the essence of pure devotionals. That's the meaning of Bhagavatam. That's why the Lord Prabhupada was so interested to write. That was his priority, was writing Srimad Bhagavatam, because he knew there would be a time somebody will fully preach it. And that time is now, isn't it? His disciples did. They're still glorifying Varnashram Dharma. They're not teaching the essential preaching of the Bhagavatam and teachings in the Bhagavatam, which is so friggin' simple when you hear it from the right place. Sit in front of a Shukadev Goswami, empowered by the real God, and hear the confidential message which we are preaching and empowered by that real Krishna. You don't believe it? You come here long enough and I'll prove it to you that the Lord is behind this teaching. You'll see it. Those who develop, look at the Fannies, man. Where'd that come from? Faith in the real preaching. Where did the Amy's come with such wisdom? Faith in the real preaching. You see her preaching? She said, God, every day is newer and newer. She's got the jewel, man. None of these thousands of gurus could say what she just said, but she gets it first, right? Before them. Why? Because she came here. She paid her attention here. She made the payment. And then I just love preaching a message. The most important message, the most fantastic message in the whole universe, and not charge people a dime for it. You can always make a donation when I help out, keep the preaching going, no problem. But you don't have to. You don't have to pay a dime. All you have to do is pay attention. That's the payment. No paying attention? Oh, you just didn't come up with the right money. Isn't that amazing to have the most valuable path in the universe, and all you have to do is make your payment of attention? See, that's it in a nutshell. I'm teaching you the real path right there. Where does that say? Go hard, pay attention there. Well, I'll tell chapter 1 on the spiritual master. Those who hear the last verses, those who hear about the glories of Lord Caitanya, the teachings, the relationships, the behavior, and everything to do with Lord Caitanya and his teachings. Just simply by hearing that, one will develop deep love for Lord Chaitanya. That means Radha and Krishna are attained automatically. That's the path taught here. You pay attention to this path, you get the highest result. Otherwise, you got a long way to go. Those who are not paying attention to the teachings of Vaidhi Bhakti still, and paying attention to fasting teachings and the glories of renunciation and the glories of fasters and the glories of chanting one dry lac and the glory, those kind of glories are not very glorious compared to paying attention to the real Bhagavatam and the real path that gets you into Vrindavan, like Shukadev Goswami got Maharaj Parikshit into Vrindavan in 7 days, like we got Lalita Ganga in 5 videos, and River and so many others, and Fanny very quickly into the kingdom of God. You pay attention here, man, are you going to get the kingdom of God fast. This is your fasting, man, is to pay attention here. You get the results of a zillion fasts, of 1,000,000 horse sacrifices that Maharaj Prithu did and Yudhisthira did. That's how powerful it is here. And we prove it every day. My God, is Gohar Das intense? Well, that's the way it is. Devotional service is very intense, very excessive. You have excessive ecstasy. Everything is excessive. You become souped up, man. You become a superman and woman. Yes, better than the marvels. Stronger, faster than the marvels. Because no Superman can bust the bonds of birth and death, can they? But a souped up Superman, somebody in the real line here, can bust your bonds. Bust Maya's kahuna. Yeah. You become a souped up man. You become a man, but souped up. Like you ever see these old classic cars? They put a supercharge on it. That's us old folks here, man. The Lord puts a supercharge on it. Then you're a souped up classic old lady or old man. We got a few of those here. You notice, you see Janaki and Lalita, they're souped up classics. See? Supercharged. That's the line, man. The real line, the real truth does that, man. Yeah, especially preaching it, man. When you confess, that's unto salvation and much more here in this line. We're not just that's the Jesus salvation. You hear them salvation, salvation, no, salvation, salvation. That's diddly squat. The Lord Caitanya brought the deeper truth, pure devotional service, without material motives, without the motive of trying to be something big. You become important by not even caring about being important. The happiness of devotees is to glorify the most important personality that's ever been here. See? The happiness of a devotee is to promote the most important teachings in this world. That's what's important, not some false prestige of wanting to be important. That's for human beings. That's for people, babies, right? The children are like that. The children never grow up. These adults, they're like that too. They don't grow up until you come here. They also, that's these you gurus. You're like that. You're like little babies to me. You're like little babies who want to be important. Lolita knows having children, right? They always want to be the center of attention. Well, they also want to be the center. You haven't grown up. You come here. You're going to grow up. And you'll understand that's all a reflection. You'll see the real power is in glorifying and teaching and relishing what is most important for everybody in the whole universe. To teach what is most important, pure devotional service and the path. That's what these books are teaching. I reference that. Okay? To relish what is most important in this world. To taste it, to communicate what's most important to others, where they get it. They get infected by pure devotional service. Whoa, what an infection that is. That is fantastic to be infected. And I get the great privilege, and you get the great privilege. You become like that too. I'm very satisfied. Promoting the real, that's pure devotional service. When you see Amy glorified, is she looking for false prestige? She becomes prestigious simply by glorifying her experience and her happiness in being engaged in this wonderful path of pleasing God in her own heart. Lalita also, and everybody else. And if you have any remnants of wanting some self-importance, the Lord will very quickly take care of that. And then you'll realize, oh, that's hindering me, man. Yeah, let me just glorify. What is important? I find that's pure devotional service. You're just so into the pure truth of that your happiness is in glorifying what's really important. Full satisfaction. That's why Prabhupada gave me the position as guru. I didn't even ask for it. I wanted to reject it. I thought, oh, not me. I'm not important. But I loved glorifying what's supremely important. To me, that was important to me. Important to me was not to be a big guru or important or anything. No, it was so nice just to relish what was important, even though I wasn't teaching it yet. Then I got another taste. I got to understand. No, I see why Lord Caitanya is Leela Avatar. He comes here. He wants to taste the glories of promoting what is most important in this world. You don't get this in Vaikuntha. Who are they preaching to? The choir? Everybody's a believer there. This is so wonderful to convince people to come here. Oh, I'm just going with Lord Caitanya. Wherever he appears, I just pray, Lord Caitanya, take me with you. I want to go with you. I want to be a part of your team, of liberating souls in this world. There's a wonderful taste to that. Even here, devotees come like this, where you don't see the Lord, but the Lord is with me. He's with you guys too, many of you. You feel him. He's protecting you. He's inspiring you. And you like it. And you see how quickly you advance in devotional service thousands of times faster than people who are not in this line to this extent. Still the dry branches on the Chaitanya tree, and we're the green one. That's why all you dry branches, look over here. Pay attention to this teaching, to these words. The cock's really, we've wakened the cock and saying, shut up! Stop waking me up. Too bad. You cocky people out there, we're here to wake you up. The louder I crow, the louder they. I wake up the cocks in the morning. I get up earlier than they do. Wow, this is wild stuff, isn't it? Where do you hear this kind of preaching? I never heard this. I'm gonna watch this video over again. Can you imagine? We are so privileged to preach this. See, you see how the Prabhupada said, 1996, I was just starting to preach this. People asked me to teach this. He said, and he was smiling. He appeared to me in that lucid dream. And he said, you're doing exactly what I want you to do. This has my full approval. You do more of this. And just more and more. And look at the people coming, man, and seeing this is real, man. This is real happiness. This is real spiritual power. This is safe. This is power, spiritual power, where you can wield it safely. Otherwise, you'll be corrupted by that power. Can you imagine? Look how much power a guy like me, look, nothing special. Look how much power. You've given your lives over here, right? You've put your lives, you put your faith here. If I was not protected by the Lord, I would be corrupted. I would use that against you. I would use to extract, everything from you. Your energy, you would be my batteries. Instead of me charging batteries, I would be charged by you. That's the people that are an illusion. They work like that. But you see, the truth gives such power. See, the Lord's power. The power for what? The power to deliver others. That is so wonderful. The power to taste the nectar in the holy name. You need the supreme power to taste this. That means the Lord has to really be close to you and inside you, motivating you. Okay? That means the Lord is very surrendered to you, and that means you're really surrendered to the Lord. It has to be. Otherwise, everything gets corrupted in this world. That's why it's very dangerous to be guru. As soon as you get that, how are you not going to be corrupted if you're not truly empowered by the transcendental potency? How could you withstand the corruptibility of this? We see in the world, everybody is corrupted. Demigods are corrupted. Demons are corrupted by the opulences of the Lord. Only the devotees are incorruptible. How can Maya corrupt somebody who is taking shelter of the transcendental potency? She has no power there. That's why this is such a privilege to preach this. You very rarely see a person out of prison of the illusion, because she's corrupting everybody and everything. See, Jesus, he got out. You see, he was in the desert, and the Maya wanted to corrupt him, tried to. So and he said, "Oh, here you do, just serve me. Stop doing what you're doing, your prayers and all that, and pray to me, and I'll give you all these opulences." And you know what Jesus said in essence? Man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. So you don't just live by the bread and the opulences in this world, the food in this world, whatever it is, the resources in this world. Not alone. We got to have some. But by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. So Jesus was qualified. He could quote the scriptures and from his own voice get the shelter because of his past existence. I also could do that by good fortune. And we are very fortunate when I can even hear those kinds of words, the word of God coming from the mouths of many sincere disciples here who are overshadowed by the transcendental potency. See, we live by that. Find great pleasure in that because we live with the Lord together, and the Lord likes whatever he likes, we like. Whatever he knows and what he wants preached, we preach. In this way, we stay under the shelter of the Lord forever. We're making devotees like that. Anybody interested in a lifestyle like that? You want to live close to the Lord in this life? You want to be able to bestow the benediction of bursting the bonds of birth and death in people who listen to you? Do you want to relish in ecstasy the holy name of Krishna to the point of tears and holy laughter and choking up of just intimately associating with the Lord and communing intimately with him right before the public and liberating anybody who also wants to worship like that, like you do, to be able to make people as good as you and even better? Well, that's what's here. If you're interested in anything else other than that, well, you don't know my Lord. You don't know Lord Caitanya. You don't know why he came here, but we do, and you won't know unless you do come here and learn. Because you got to manifest it. You know. See? You got to be like the Lord was, and his real devotees were, very ecstatic in preaching that path of prema and communicating to others where they get it. This is so real here, people have a hard time believing it. But we make it easier every day, right? Every day you see this. Every day you see examples of the spiritual power of the Lord who lives in my heart, who motivates me. It motivates many of you, right? We have our little clique here, our little society of devotees. Everybody can view right now. This is the greatest time. I feel so happy coming at this time because we got this Facebook Live and they're allowing us to preach. Thank you, Zuckerberg, and everybody else participating. This is how Maya participates in helping our preaching. Okay. See, I'm not, she has her activities, man. And, she has her followers and she teaches them lessons. And we have our followers. She does her work. We do our work, and we're in harmony in that way. And anybody out there, you can always change sides. I mean, I don't have to go and fight anything. Hey, man, you're following Maya. You're following her. You believe in the demons. You believe in her lies. And that's what she does. She knows that, I know that. Why should I go against people's nature? Her nature and her followers is to lie, cheat, steal. You're just a predator. And you're a predator because you believe in your masters out there. You can change. So I'm here, if you want to change sides, you can come here and you can understand the greatest secrets of the universe. You can overcome the horrors of this world that are being promoted now. You can, all this dystopian stuff is you can transcend all of that. I mean, we have the path. You can if you want, but it's all who you believe. If you come here, I'll convince you. You'll get deprogrammed from that, and you'll get the God's program, the Lord's program. The Lord's program is pure devotional service, isn't it? Isn't that the Lord's program? Didn't he bring that program 550 years ago? So we're engaged in programming that into the world. He programmed it. It's still there, the program. We just have to activate the program. See, we got all the how the programmers, they have their little book, right? That's Srimad Bhagavatam, especially Chaitanya Charitamrita. And we're programming that into the matrix. That's the only program that Maya will accept, actually. It's the narrow gate. It's the only way. All the obstacles are servants of my Lord. And there's only one program that will fit into this program of the matrix. It's this one. Yeah, that sounds, there are so many paths. You go follow the so many paths. We'll preach this program, anybody comes to this program, you'll see its power. You'll see how superior it is to all other paths and programs that the Lord has in this matrix here for you if you don't come here. See, this is the door out. See, the matrix of Maya. Maya is the matrix. There's no way you can get out of the matrix that way. Look at that guy, this Andrew Tate. Thank you, Andrew, for your preaching, showing the example. See, you're all part of it. So I use that. These guys say, oh, he escaped the matrix. He escaped the matrix. No, he didn't. The matrix grabbed him and threw him in the matrix jail. He's sitting in jail. With all his money, he's sitting in jail. Why? Because you can't get out of it by being a great person. He said, oh, I'll get you. You'll become a great person. The whole world is giving people hopium. If you just become a great person, a superstar, a kickboxer, a Narayan Raj, even in religion, you become a superstar devotee, big devotee, the biggest devotee, the biggest deities, the biggest temple, and you'll surpass it, and you never do. You got to find what? The biggest teaching. See? The biggest truth. And then you will surpass it. How it really works is taught here. Otherwise, look, they're still doing that in religion, in Vaishnavism. You got to have the biggest deities, the biggest temple, right? And then the neophytes all come and pile in, and the temple sinks because it's so heavy. But nobody can take the burdens off. They just burden it. God, build the temple, man. Give us more money for the temple. Build the temple, and you gotta just, it just weights everything down. Still, big deity. See how big the deity is. The small pujari is there. The big, it must be pure devotional service because of the big deity. Everything's big except the bhakti. Isn't that amazing? Everything's big except the bhakti. Here we'll show you what real big is. Big bhakti, man. Big truth. See? It's all about big bhakti and big truth. This is what Jesus said to the woman at the well. Hey, the Lord is very much looking for big bhakti, see? Big spirit, and big conclusive truth as it is. Lord Caitanya, same teaching. I don't like this weak reverential devotion with speculators. My devotees who speculate about me, they don't really know me. It's very weak love. No, I want big love, big ecstatic love, man. And the big truth that comes from it. See, that's why he was enraged. Look at this guy. He's not referencing what we're talking about here, not referencing pure devotional service and the real path to it, the quick path. Tom says, what are the symptoms of big bhakti? I hope you're asking that for somebody else. Because that means you're not seeing the elephant in the room yet.
I'm enthusiastic. I want more. I want to be clear, straight to the point.
To the point, man. Yeah, what is big bhakti, man? Well, come and turn Lalita's program on every day. Turn Johan's program. That's called big bhakti, man. They got big bhakti, man. Because they got what? Big everything. Big faith, big bhakti. And because of that, got big knowledge of the truth of the bigger than 1,000 of those gurus with 1,000. They could get 1,000 PhDs. Doesn't matter. They got bigger bhakti and bigger truth here. And I'm going to prove it to the world. That is my happy. No, me and my Lord are going to prove that to the world. We work as a team. Matter of fact, not only me and my Lord, but me and your Lords here too. Our Lords are so powerful because it's double trouble, triple trouble for Maya now, illusion. She likes this kind of trouble. So finally, we got the kind of trouble I like. Finally, we got like a team assembled that can go against our huge army, you know. You got to see the big boobs. See, there's two levels of big boobs. The big boobs are out there following the other paths. Big boobs out there, and the big boobs are over here, man. You know, the big one, the firm. You know, those are all saggy boobs. These are the big firm, you know, firm with ecstasy. Just pushing out the nipples. You know, you have to say nipples because the ecstasy. See, the boobs out there get very saggy because they have so many children, right? Maya has all these. They get all worn out, you know, just worn out, and the age, the people, the teachers, they all age. But the devotees, man, the boobs get very firm with bhakti, man, and pushes out the nipples, and they get firmer and more bhakti. The milk never dries out. See? It's always just flowing, man, more flow, man. After a while, just you get like wet, you know, all over the place, man, from all that bhakti, man. See, we're even even Janardhan wants boobs now. That's pretty good, huh? We even got him liking the boobs. When they're bhakti boobs, bhakti babes, they have bhakti boobs. All right, you come here, we'll make you a bhakti babe with bhakti boobs. We're Ooh. Srimad Bhagavatam. So, what right does he have to speak upon the Bhagavatam? So, really, that is the essence. Those who are teaching now the other process, you know, Vaidhi Bhakti, what right do you have to teach from the real Bhagavatam? You really don't. You're not even at the, see, you want to get to the beginning of the Bhagavatam, and this statement is for all of them, all the Vaidhi Bhaktas out there. You haven't heard the real Bhagavatam till you're in the mood of Vedavyas and said, you know, my heart is still not quite happy, even though I taught all these things that they're teaching still to this day, at 50 years after Prabhupada, still teaching the regulative path of devotional service, still teaching Varnashram Dharma, still teaching predominantly, well, yeah, literally predominantly, still teaching renunciations and fastings to attain Krishna instead of the real path of attaining. It's time for the real path to attain Krishna. Is just sit your butt in front of a real devotee preaching the confidential message, and you will receive the real bhakti, like Maharaj Parikshit did in 7 days. It might take you 7 months, or 3 months, or 7 years, but you're going to get it quicker than you're going to get it any other way. We have so many examples now, people got it in less than a year. Now that's pretty good. And they're out there for 50 years still worshiping these gurus, and they don't got this. They're worshiping Narayan Raj, they don't got this. They're worshiping the gurus of Narayan Raj or the gurus of Prabhupada, they don't got this. You may not like what I'm saying, but it's all true. It's all true, for God's sake. Where is the offense of just stating what is true? That's offensive, to call attention to the truth. Well, I'll go on being offensive. Thank you very much. What did Jesus say? Blessed are those who are not offended by my words. You think I don't say the same thing, or can say the same thing? I'll say something more. Blessed are you who are offended by these words too. Otherwise, I wouldn't speak them. See, those teachers and gurus, they're big bullies. So you just need to find a bigger bully. That's all. You found one here, a bigger bully. Or a bigger bull. You know, the bulls, when they fight, they go head to head, you know? This is the power, is just the word of God. Remember, in the beginning was the word was with God, the word was God. See, that's the devotee and the Lord together. Watch out when you got a living devotee and the Lord together. My God, now you got the real word of God, and that has power. Those who take it seriously, you know, you get a very serious result. It's, you know, let's see, read what Amy says, somebody.
Big bhakti is when your heart's true desire is to receive and share the true word of God. And when you hear it, you fixate on it and want to embrace it to the fullest capacity possible.
See, Amy, she's like, that's how I am. I'm like that. Fixate. I get very fixated on these. Just fixated. I just, yeah.
And this is the opportunity we are given here.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's like an embrace. You know, I get the hold of these verses. It's almost like a pit bull. It won't let go of its food. You try and get a pit bull on. No, it won't. Just you want to embrace it more. You know, tightly. See, the Vedic scriptures have declared that Bhagavatam unequivocally establishes the sublime importance of attaining a loving relationship with the Supreme. See? So the Bhagavatam says that, right? Why are people not preaching that? Because they're not preaching the real Bhagavatam. They don't see the importance of it. They see something else in the Bhagavatam. That was Devananda Pandit. He was not preaching the supreme importance of attaining a loving relationship with Krishna. And so, but this is not just teaching. It's like, you know, you could say, well, Narayan Raj was saying that, or the Radhakund Babaji say that. Okay, is there something more than just saying it? Can you see somebody engaged in a loving relationship with Krishna? Now, wouldn't that teaching carry more weight? Why are they saying we'll teach about it, but we won't show it? Well, that's not good enough. Here we do the whole thing. We teach about it and the importance of it, but not only that, but show the importance of it. Witness for it. Wow, this is what God is doing in my life. This is what God is giving me from having this intimate living relationship. He's giving me the words to speak, to see these truths, to relish these truths like he did, to taste transcendental mellows. And you see, it's really true. Do you see them here? Oh, I didn't know that. Our gurus were not showing that. Therefore, you don't get it. Narayan Raj wasn't showing it for you. Therefore, you don't get it. That's why you're a little confused here. Narayan Raj, you're a little confused here. Because not only do you hear pure devotional service glorified, you see the act. You see, just like people say, oh, I saw the sex act of those people there. I saw them having sex. Well, what do you think this is going on? I saw this devotee having communion with God, the highest transcendental sex. I saw this devotee. Yeah, but people don't think that's important because Maya's always hiding that. We uncover that truth. She tries to hide. It's like a war, right? She tries to hide. Gohari's uncovering it. You guys too, you know. She tries to hide, we uncover. Yeah, she oh, don't pay that any importance. We show it's important here. We teach the importance of that. That's what this book is about. Teach the importance of real bhakti and the real path of to get quickly loving and to engage in the loving service of the Lord. Quickly. That's why the Lord comes. That's why the devotees come. That's why we're here to quicken, to give you the quickening. Ah, phew. So, Tom, give us a word. You're muted.
Yeah, done with the detours. That was my translation I just found. I wanted to translate the Dutch words into English. Done with the detours. That's quickening up the process. Not done with the detours.
Yeah, good.
All
Yeah, you
those
see,
distractions and
yeah,
well, yes, we can offer mama, yes, I can offer what you want, but they cannot deliver. They cannot give you the conclusive happiness. They cannot deliver you the real milk, or those teeth. Um, they cannot grasp the transcendental qualities.
yeah.
So inconclusive, this Mahamaya solutions.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the point, is to make it clear, you know, like to clear the path. Otherwise, you're on a detour. Detour, it takes more time, you know. Oh, you got to go around the mulberry bush. See, like I used the analogy before, going around the mountain. See, to get to the top, you're going around slowly around. See, a longer path. Here, the straight up. Straight up. You just get on the back of the word of the devotees who teach the essence. You see, I'm not giving you a bunch of, here, let me tell you what this book is about. Oh, do a lot of Varnashram Dharma. You see the Lord. You see how the importance that he had put on the tilak. Otherwise, your forehead is a crematorium. You know, I go in and talk about Vaidhi Bhakti. That you see, well, the Lord said it was important. Let's go on to the Vaidhi Bhakti thing. Well, you know, for those who are finished with that, let's come over here. Do you think Lalita is displeasing the Lord? Is her forehead a crematorium and she doesn't put tilak on? She just comes and chants Hare Krishna in ecstasy. You think the Lord is pleased with her or not? Come on, let's get real. Is the Lord thinking, this is what they preach? Go hard. You don't have tilak. You know, your head's like a crematorium. She's a crematorium. And oh, we're not you think you're pleasing the Lord more than Lalita is? Are you kidding? Are you that stupid? That teaching is for stupid people, for very small intelligence. No, this is the pleasure. You see Lalita in ecstasy or River in any devotee or in ecstatically worshiping the Lord. That's the pleasure of the Lord, the real pleasure, not some external idea, on the level, a different level, of, oh, that's pleasing the Lord. You got tilak on. Maybe something, but no, this is the real. We're here to show you the real pleasure of the Lord. She can, as long as she chants in ecstasy, whether she puts tilak on or not, it's like it's up to her mind. It doesn't matter because she's pleased the Lord. That the pleasure of the Lord is the pleasure of the Lord. I mean, you can put 1,000,000 marks of tilak on your head and won't even get a second of the pleasure she gives Krishna. Not even 1 millisecond of the pleasure she gives. You guys are in the chunk change out there, those Vaidhi bhaktas. Yeah, go ahead, Lalita.
If the tilak gives so much pleasure to the Lord, why are they not all ecstatic? Why is he not reciprocating to them? Because they all wear tilak, but nobody is ecstatic. So obviously Krishna is not so much pleased by that. Otherwise, he would give them the confirmation, you're pleasing me like anything. Like when I preach conclusive truth, when I preach for you, when I glorify you, he gives me a lot of thank you.
Yeah, well, you see, that's the thing, Lolita. They don't know what the pleasure of the Lord is. See, here you're showing them what the pleasure of the Lord is, but they don't know this is the pleasure of the Lord. So that's why Lord Caitanya came and taught this, and his devotees taught them these. And we do the same thing. This is part of the teaching. Otherwise, it's like, okay, here's the gold. The gold is the real pleasure of the Lord. That's ecstatic devotion. It's the real pleasure. It's golden. Okay. Now you got the fake, the faker thing, or the less pleasure for the Lord. See, that's the other thing, the less. And so they see the more and they think it's less or not even important. See, why? Because they don't know what real gold is. So I'm here to teach what real gold is. I'm here to show you what real gold is. I'm here to prove it to people. And those who it's proven to, that is called faith in this path. And then you feel the pleasure of the Lord so much faster than these people going around the mountain. You come here, you just start going up the mountain and you will feel it. You'll experience the pleasure of the Lord. It'll be more real for you, like it is for so many. And now you're on the path of prema, because that's what we're teaching here, what it is and how important it is, how it's more important than anything. You find this path, you found the narrow gate that goes directly into Vrindavan. You saved yourself lifetimes, that Narayan Raj said is going to be your lot, because you believe in the path of many lifetimes, which is believing in the mulberry bush, believing that austerities are going to get you there quickly or after many lifetimes, believe in your sadhana bhakti and you're following all those rules and regulations and going and listening to devotees who have not attained ecstatic devotion, even though they may infer that they have, but they don't want to show it. Okay? I'm here to prove that the power is in the real path. And the real path is with the real devotees who are actually anointed with the spirit of devotion and have realized all these things, and they preach their realization. And those who listen and develop faith in this preaching, oh my God, you just paid attention. You just made the greatest payment that's going to give you the biggest dividends, the biggest return. And that'll be proven to you, and that's your witness here. They say, Gohari is not an insane person. No, he's got the real deal. Okay? And people, well, you show them what the real deal is. You show them the beauty of real bhakti and how much more magnificent it is from all the less intelligent things, or the less pleasing things to the Lord. The Lord came here to show the glories of ecstatic devotional service, and we're here also on that. We're on his page, man. We're here. You could see the work we need to do with the devotees. They still don't believe that this is important. Well, you'll see it's important. We just come every day and show the importance of this, and people are seeing it. One by one, they're coming. But only the jewels at first. We need a lot of jewels here first, right? We got to collect the real wealth first. See, then you put it all together. Ooh. Then it really shines. That's what the Lord did. He just collected the valuable jewels first. And then it really shined. It really was bright. Can you see how that works? When, even Jesus, he sent his jewels out 2 by 2. He didn't send them 1 by 1. He put them together. Yeah, Lord Caitanya taught in a group. St. Paul taught in a group. As the people collected, it became stronger, more real. River, give us a word. I think you're muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, good.
I'm just a bit behind you because I can't hear on this phone, so I'm on another phone.
Okay.
You're brilliant, Maharaj. It's just brilliant. Oh my God. Take that off, sorry. I'm hearing myself. It's amazing what you're saying. Again, because of your truth, and being solid in truth, no matter what I've said, no matter what you have pushed me, squeezed me through those things. You can't get through those things if it's sentiment. Oh, you got to have the hard truth because that's absolute. And once you get through that, even though it's hard for the false ego, it's difficult. It makes it because it's killing the false ego, and it's crying, but it wants to stay alive. You know,
Yeah.
your truth is destroyed the power that I've given that false ego to be able to hear your word so clearly. And I see how I see how I've done this before, to the things that I'm attracted to the things, and it is actually as well, being around Remy for all those years. Because yes, I was a party girl, but the main thing, I stayed with him. I had an intimate relationship with him by going around to his house, serving him and serving him and serving. I didn't say a word actually. I was a bit scared of him as well. I partied. I didn't go around. I didn't really know those party girls in that way. I knew him. He's the one that I was attracted to more than anything, and it's brought me here. He's been my greatest stepping stone, and you have everything actually in my life. It's amazing. There's no way I'm going anywhere. I've been given the greatest gift. Wow, I'm here in the city hospital. Everybody's just completely doing their thing, and I'm doing my thing. They're doing their thing. It's so great. He's given me more power and empowerment recently to be who I am, to be who I really am, empowered by him. Without him, we are not who we are not real. We cannot be real. And with you, so many things. With you raising your voice, and it disturbs some people. It's where they're focusing. Are they hearing from their false ego? Because then it's going to disturb them, and they're not going to like you raising the voice. But when it's coming from the real self, you are receiving gifts so fast that it's never really bothered me. But when my ego has been really hard, I'm like, even with me, I'm like, no. Now you can tell now when it bothers people. It tells more about them because it's where they're hearing from. It's where, because everything you say is perfect, it's beautiful, it's real, it's absolute. And just because you raise your voice, so we're here. So you can see people are still hearing from the false ego, they're still focused on the false ego. You know, because, and he's telling me things all the time. Or like, I've been wanting that. It's so attractive when the Lord is talking to you personally. You know, it's oh my, I know why he's all attractive. That really bothered me. Why is he all attractive? You know, when I was going to Namahata, because they can't explain anything. They can't explain anything. And I can say a lot more about Maharaj. I'm not going to too much. I'm a bit nervous of going to Namahata again because you asked me to go. I don't know if you remember, but I don't know what Krishna's going to say to them. I don't know what. So that's why I haven't been. They're back up again doing their thing. So that's what it is really. But yeah, and without Lolita, without having peers, I have been looking for peers, and peers actually pillars of the Lord. I have been searching for pillars of the Lord. And boy, if I didn't have this family affair, if I didn't have it, I would fall again and again. I'd fall back into this BS. I would fall back into it. And Lifter just lifts me out. Now your words just lift me out. And it all makes sense. It makes sense. I love being here as well.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And I've done the, wow. That's it. Much. Amazing. Just boom, boom, boom. Wow.
Yeah, you know, it's so great to see that how you appreciate. See, this is the secret, is appreciating these truths. This is how you get it, and you realize its value. See, that's when you get pure. That's why you got to get the stuff out first, you know, and then because it's in the way usually. False
You
ideas.
can't realize the value with the stuff in the way.
No, it's in the way. Yeah, so that's part of the process. You know, this is why it's pretty rare. Otherwise, if you're too neophyte, you can't do this process. You won't understand how to do this. You know, you're too identified. So, but when the people are ready, they'll come.
They're getting ready, you know.
Huh? What?
I can feel they're getting ready.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The devotees in the
Yeah, we
Sangha,
got 20 people here. That's pretty amazing. Yeah. Steady, 20 people. Yeah, and that's in the morning, and they got usually 20 people coming during the day. Yeah.
It's brilliant.
You'll see the people. You know what we're doing is really honest and beautiful and powerful. You know, and the best deal. We got the best deal here. My goal is to prove we got the best deal for the world. Lalita, give us a word here.
Lalita.
Oh, Guru Maharaj, can I add? Yeah, for me, there was always that word, esoteric truth. Only the word alone is already very moving my heart every time that I express it. So yeah, that's what we get here. And with all the experiences that I get here in those few years, actually, I get so much more knowledge about what's from this world and what's not from this world. I really see more and more the differences. What's esoteric and what's spiritual and what's just from this world. And it's a broad thing. It's a big box full of worldly things that we actually don't need. We really don't need it. We are attached to it, and we even don't know that it takes so much part of our life. Not only material things that we can handle, but opinions. So many opinions and feelings and desires, and that are from this world that we really don't need to for our eternal life. It's really beautiful that you get all this knowledge in little drops that the Lord shows us to you. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's really necessary for your growing process that you get this, that you see those differences. Yeah. Not. Yes. So,
Yeah.
You get less disturbed in a lot of things. No, it's not part of my world anymore. No. This is from the world. This desire is from the world. I'm not going to dive in. I'm not going to fall in that trap. It's not from Krishna. It's from the world. No, leave it behind. and I was never capable to find out myself. It's Krishna who shows this by your association. And it's very, very, very important to know this, to grow. It's really, really very important. But you've got to stay connected and listen and let that word clean you out. And then all this knowledge, all these things will be said to you little by little. And you grow higher and higher and higher.
Yeah. Yes, awesome. Okay, let's do the Fanny song. I've been hooping and hollering enough for a while.
Maharaj, can I just say one thing?
Yes.
Lolita was just talking. I've got this quote on my fridge, and you hold Jesus' hand, he'll take you through the valley of death. He's moving. I'm holding his hand. Lolita was talking. He's moving everything out the way. We're walking with God. He's showing us where he's not and where the illusion is and where he is. It's like we're holding his hand. If you hold my hand, he says, I will take you through. Don't be scared. That is what Lolita was just speaking. It's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful. That's all I wanted to say, Maharaj.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah. See, to those who worship the Lord with loving ecstasy, I give them the understanding that's the path and, what to avoid and all that. And the real knowledge. The real knowledge is this. See, I'm just, Guru is just to communicate the real knowledge that they're getting from their relationship to the people who are not either not so advanced to do that, or those who are advanced, they just like to hear it, without, Lord Caitanya he knew the truth, but he loved to hear it from his devotees. It's very relishable. So for liberated souls, it's relishable. And for those who are not, that want to be, it clears away all the brambles that are in the way and cleans you out. And then you can relish it more and more. It's good for everybody. It's the perfect path. We're teaching really the perfect path. It's open to everybody. Not everybody will come right away, but those who are meant to, they just show up on our doorstep. The Lord Maya will just put the little baskets here. Okay, this one's ready to listen. There's a baby got to come like a kind of a little more or less ready to listen. Oh yeah, here's one for you. This one's ready for processing. See, come in there. We'll process you into the Salvation Army and beyond. We'll give you plenty of when you go to the army, they give you a lot of injections. You come here, we also give injections. We'll inject you with the truth, man. More. Every day you get injections. Here, we don't. You think you get injections going to the army or to Bill Gates? No, we'll inject it right into the truth, man. Every day, more injections. More injections of the truth, man. Inoculate those people. Protect them from the virus of birth and death and all Maya's tricks. We just inject them with the truth and just love it, man. So thank you very much. And here we go. Fanny song. Here we go. Where are you? No.
He would go out at sunrise, chanting, dancing to his name. Hari-bo, Hari-bo. He would wake up everyone, rise and rejoice to the name. Hari-bo, Mukunda Madhava, Govinda Hari, Hari-bo, Haribol. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste and give away the sweetness of his brain. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all you have to do is take to the sweet chanting heart. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Every day the sun will rise, and every day the sun will set. Hari Bol. What's the value of your life if devotion you don't get? Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Take the name into your heart, take it with you when you part. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to taste and give away the sweetness of his brain.